My name is Mikal Netteberg. I work as a solution advisor. We call it pre-sales inside SAP. I'm based in Copenhagen, since I'm Danish. I had a question yesterday. What are you doing here? And you probably might have the same thought, not because I'm Danish, but because I come from SAP. And what is SAP doing in machine learning? And hopefully I can convince you that we have some, I think, amazing plans, but also that we have actually working with machine learning for quite some time. So today I'm going to present our new platform. When I say new, it's more because we have packaged a lot of interesting technologies into the cloud that will enable companies to extend the business applications utilizing machine learning. And I want to go into the more deep learning today. So I will focus around that, but I'll also talk a little bit about our, what I call classic machine learning capabilities as well. So hopefully if you had the thought that SAP is only ERP before you arrived, hopefully I would have changed that image of us after the presentation. And let me just, as a small teaser, show you one of the applications that we have built in the Leonardo platform that is running today. It was a co-project, a collaboration with Swarovski, that you make crystals. So imagine that you have bought a crystal item at Swarovski, and for some reason it has broken. What would you normally do? You probably take it with you to the shop, and the shop would have to identify kind of what item is it, because it could be that you have bought it 10 years ago. So they have to figure out what kind of item is it. Do we have a spare part? Can we repair it, and so on? So actually, to optimize that process, we actually used Tensorflow for deep learning to look through the whole catalog of Swarovski, and now you can actually from home take a picture of your crystal or diamond thing, and Swarovski immediately can recognize what item is it, even though that you bought it many years ago, and see if they have it in stock. Okay, so that's just one of the applications that we have built. So I would say, as I said a little bit earlier, all you people with crystals or diamonds, now life is a little bit easier. Okay. Okay, so next slide is showing, can say SAP. So keeping the lights on is what SAP is known for. We do the bread and butter processes inside the organization with finance, HR, and sales, and so on. But we also are aware that in the future, a lot of these processes need to be enhanced. They need to be automated and be a lot more intelligent. And knowing that, that's, we can say, the reason that we have built Leonardo. So we can actually do what you do. You don't have to go outside and get external technologies, because we think that if you're going to extend, especially your SAP technology, SAP is the best to do so. And just think about, if we look at the different processes, what can you do? So if you look at marketing, we know that brand impact, social media analysis, a lot of machine learning capabilities needs to be built to those processes. We have finance, we have HR, sales and services, operations, and we actually do a lot of machine learning around the processes today. I'm not sure if you're aware, but for HR, we actually have machine learning capabilities when you hire people or want to retain people. But we know that all the, can say, existing ordinary processes need to be extended to be more automated, and so on. But before I dive into the more deep learning of our Leonardo platform, and that's also because it's much of the stuff that we are going to do is still on the roadmap, I want to show some of our classic machine learning capabilities, just to make you aware that we have been working in this area for quite some time. So our HANA platform, which is our, should we call it, our main platform, that's what all SAP evolves around. That is, you can say, our machine that has a lot of capabilities. It's known as a database, but actually can do a lot more. And the machine learning capabilities have been built into our platform for quite some time. And inside our platform, we have actually our SAP native libraries. So we have 2 libraries. We have our PAL library, which has around, I think, plus 90 algorithms. For traditional machine learning, we have our automated predictive library that is more for business analysts to automate the process, so you don't have to be a data scientist to actually achieve the same as a data scientist is doing. We have more specific libraries, I will skip those. But you also see that we also support RScript as well, and we have done that from the beginning, because we know that the agility in machine learning doesn't come from the commercial vendors, it comes from outside. So we would say that we embrace the open source from outside to extend our capabilities and make sure that we at all times can say we have the agility in there. And then we have the extended can say machine learning as well, and that is where we actually today are able to consume Tensorflow models. And as probably since most of you are data scientists, you know that Tensorflow is the hottest of the hottest at the moment, and the Swarovski demo is somebody is laughing, but I think so. But anyway, we're actually able to embrace the new stuff coming from the open source. Just diving into the PAL library, you see all the algorithms that we cover there and have had for some years. So we have done machine learning for quite some time. Using for pure machine learning or using for enhancing our SAP processes as well. And then we have our automated process. I just want to do just one slide around that because I like it quite a lot, because it gives people, for me, that is more a wannabe data scientist, the ability to actually sometimes look like a data scientist. This is the traditional machine learning process when you do what I call classic machine learning. You know all the steps you have to go through. You have to connect to the data. You have to do data manipulation. You have to sample your data. Sometimes you also have to reduce your data before you actually apply an algorithm that you have chosen. Scoring, validation, model interpretation, and so on. And you know you have to kind of go into the details of each process. You have to be a data scientist to really make an optimal process. But our automated library actually enables you to automate many of the steps right there. So I have went to proof of concepts where I competed with established machine learning vendors that have, you can say, state-of-the-art tools, and I was actually able to achieve the same, not better, but the same result much faster by automating much of the process, because we are utilizing a best practice approach in there. And I really like the kind of the tool. Sometimes we forget to tell the story, but I think it's something of importance. And just another slide on the automated. So inside the automated, it actually does a lot of the stuff that you normally have to kind of tweak yourself. So it actually finds, it doesn't underfit, it doesn't overfit, it does missing value handling, outlier handling, all the things that you normally can say, doing in a manual way. Okay, so that was a little bit about our classic learning capabilities. Let me now jump into the Leonardo, and I think from a machine learning perspective, I want to go a little bit deeper into the deep learning part. So, Leonardo, what is Leonardo? That's sometimes also a question we ask ourselves, but I think we can say it's an interesting collection of technologies we have. So it's a combination of technologies in the cloud, and besides the technologies, we also have some line of business applications, templates, I call them, to extend your existing applications. So if you have a retail solution on premise, you can extend the capabilities with the template, or you can use the core technologies like the machine learning part, or some of the other stuff we have. So you can see right here that from a technology perspective, we have in the Leonardo platform, we have the machine learning. We also support a blockchain. Of course, we didn't invent blockchain, but we support blockchain as well. We have data intelligence, so we can connect and consume data and pre-process data. We support big data, so we can, of course, connect to Hadoop or Spark, whatever you have. Internet of Things, we are able to to consume data in real time or in batch, and analytics as well in the cloud. So we can you can say different technologies you can use to create something yourself or to enhance your existing applications as well. From a template perspective, we have built this template you can build on top of your existing applications. So you can see we have for retail, consumer products, discrete manufacturing, and so on, where we have the templates that are utilizing the technology underneath. But it's important to say that you can also, it's kind of like a Lego blocks, that you can use the template that is based on technology, but you can also enhance the templates using technology, or you can kind of create your own templates on the technology. So if we focus more about machine learning, since it's a data science event, you can see that instead of developing deep learning technologies ourselves, we went out to the market and say kind of who is the best in the market right now. And so we have partnered up with, we have partnered up with NVIDIA, with Google, that have built Tensorflow, and as you know, Tensorflow runs ideally on GPUs that NVIDIA do, and also we have a partnership on artificial intelligence as well. So instead of trying to develop things ourselves, we are embracing the open stuff in the market. And right now, Tensorflow, when we speak about deep learning, seems to be the most interesting part. And I think that's, from my perspective, it certainly makes sense, and it also means that if something new come tomorrow, of course we will embrace that as well. So in that respect, we try to be as agile as we can by leveraging the agility in the open source community and in the open source market out there. So actually, can say mostly built about can say our deep learning capabilities. You see that we actually have built some applications already. So let me just see. So brand impact, very interesting. You can see it in the booth. We have the possibilities to look at a live sport event and using Tensorflow to recognize if there are any commercials in it. And so the different vendors can see how much the brand is exposed. So if there's a soccer match, you can actually see that 100 times the brand was shown in real life by using, you can say, Tensorflow capabilities to do image recognition and so on. And that is based on our Leonardo machine learning foundation, which I think is for data scientists is quite interesting because you get some pre-built capabilities, but it also means that you can kind of bring your own stuff into it, which you see on the next slide. So this is our machine learning foundation, and you see we have services that are ready to use, but we also have the capability that you can bring your own model. So if you're a data scientist playing around with TensorFlow, we can actually say consume your model. So I think that is kind of the bridge that we have created between the data scientist and the data scientist departments inside the organization and SAP applications. Because it's can say at the moment it's quite common that we are invited to customers that say, we have bought this machine learning platform, but we don't know how to get data out of SAP, and we don't know how to get the models back into SAP. And I fully understand that's a big challenge, and I don't have the answer for it. But Leonardo is a way that we see to make it easy for you, because in that case we actually have, can say, a connected environment where you can sit in an external environment and you can develop your own models. Now it's TensorFlow, tomorrow it might be something else, but it means that if you actually develop models, we can consume it and you can extend the capabilities of the SAP applications, which many big companies run for the daily business. Of course, you can also customize existing models by kind of retrain them with your own data. So you can take existing services and you can retrain with your own data as well. So there are different capabilities. And again, everything is in the cloud. So you see we have the pre-trained services where you can leverage different kind of layers on top of our technologies, and some are the TensorFlow. So of course, you can do image recognition by yourself in TensorFlow, but you can also use the API we have created to do image recognition based on TensorFlow. So different kind of levels you can use. But as I said, you can also bring your own model, and right now it's a TensorFlow machine learning model we can consume, potentially you have created, or you can customize what we have created as well with your own data and retrain the model, which I think is a common task you do when you, for instance, do image recognition, that you use an already trained model for image recognition to speed up the process, but then you can say you use your own data to do so. Just to go deeper into the services, I see I go too fast. So this is the capabilities that we can say that generally available and the capabilities that we have on the roadmap. So we have some capabilities already now. So you see we do the image classification, we do the image feature extraction, and so on, but you also see we have a lot of things on the roadmap, and the roadmap extends all the time for new ideas. So no doubt for us, it's a start. We have built some cases. Some of the cases are not, you can say, not ideas we had. Some of the ideas like the Swarovski case or the brand recognition was ideas we got from SAP customers and say, can you do this? And then we kind of build the prototypes. So you see a lot of services is coming on the Leonardo platform. You can utilize to extend the business applications based on classic machine learning or deep learning. Just to show you an example, I don't want to go into details too much, but you see this is kind of like a normal process for, you can say, account receivable. So you have some, should we call it semi-automated steps, you have some manual steps. So this is a process working inside the SAP system. And what we can say, this is the kind of the, if I was going just to have one slide to explain what Leonardo can do for existing SAP customers, this would be the slide. So think about it, that you have this existing process in your SAP system. With, you can say, the manual things and the semi-manual things. Now you can plug and play our Leonardo services, so now it becomes completely automated with, of course, the things that are automated. So you kind of extend an existing process, makes it a lot more automated and a lot more intelligent than it was before. It was the same process, but now it's just enhanced as before. And that's the whole idea, that we want to extend our existing processes inside the SAP with machine learning, and we want to use the open source. We want to invite the data scientist in and use the capabilities inside the SAP environment. Good. So let me just show you the brand impact. You might have seen it at the booth as well. Again, based on the deep learning. And this is kind of near real time. For instance, you had the soccer match. You want to recognize how many times your brand is shown. So we built an application for that. I think probably more easy to see if you see the picture. I'm not sure if you can see, but there are some yellow rings around in the picture. So in real time, you can say the TensorFlow model will actually identify that here, and here is a logo, and so on. And in the soccer match as well, it will identify the logos, and you actually get a dashboard or report. How many times have your brand been shown during the time, so you can see if your advertisement effort paid off or not. So that's, I think it's a little bit kind of a gimmick, but I think it shows the capabilities that we want to build into our applications using the deep learning concept.